Moses in the burning bush, Exodus 3:1 to 15. In the land of Egypt, where pharaohs reigned, a humble shepherd named Moses remained, tending his flock on a mountain's crest, unaware that he was chosen, divinely blessed. One day as he wandered, a sight caught his eye, a bush engulfed in flames, reaching for the sky. But the strangest thing of all, it did not burn, a miraculous sight, a lesson to learn. Curiosity stirred within Moses' heart. He approached the bush, cautious from the start. "Remove your sandals," a voice called loud and clear, "for this ground you stand on is holy and dear." Moses trembled in awe, his heart filled with fear, as the voice continued, whispering in his ear. "I am the God of your fathers," it proclaimed, "the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob," renowned names. God revealed his plan, his purpose so grand, to free his people, enslaved in Egypt's land. "I have heard their cries, their anguish and pain, and I have chosen you, Moses, to break their chain." But Moses hesitated, unsure of his worth. Who was he to lead this monumental birth? "I am not eloquent, nor do I possess might," he pleaded with God, consumed by his plight. But God reassured him his strength would prevail. "I will be with you every step of the trail. And when you bring my people out of despair, you shall worship me on this very mountain, so fair." With faith instilled, Moses obeyed God's command. He returned to Egypt, prepared to take a stand. Before Pharaoh he stood, with courage and zeal, demanding freedom for his kin, with words of appeal. But Pharaoh resisted. His heart remained cold. He hardened his stance, refusing to be told. Through plagues and wonders, God's power was shown, yet Pharaoh's heart, like stone, remained its own. Until that final night, when darkness befell, the firstborn of Egypt in sorrow would dwell. But the Hebrews were spared, marked by blood on the door, protected by God. They were safe evermore. Pharaoh relented, his resolve finally broken, and Moses led his people, no words left unspoken. Through the parted sea, they made their way, a liberated nation, no longer in dismay. The burning bush, a symbol of God's presence divine, a reminder that he is with us through every sign. Moses, the chosen vessel, obedient and true, guided his people through the wilderness. It's true. With pillars of cloud and fire to lead the way, God's providence shining bright, night and day. Manna from heaven, a miraculous feast, sustained them in their journey, the greatest of feasts. Water from rocks, a gushing stream, quenching their thirst, fulfilling their dream. But the path was not easy. Trials they faced, their faith tested in the vast desert space. Murmurs and doubts echoed throughout the camp, yet Moses remained steadfast, a spiritual lamp. On Mount Sinai's summit, Moses ascended high to receive God's laws engraved from the sky. Amidst thunder and lightning, a fearsome sight, the 10 Commandments, a beacon of light. 40 days and nights, Moses communed with the Lord Almighty, the divine assumed. He etched on stone tablets God's sacred word, a moral code for his people, a truth to be heard. Descending from the mount, his face radiant and bright, Moses carried the tablets, a symbol of right. But he found his people worshiping a golden calf, their faith shaken, their trust turned to laugh. In anger and sorrow, Moses shattered the stone, symbolizing the breach, the rebellion known. He interceded for his people, pleading for grace, and God forgave, offering a second embrace. Through the wilderness they wandered, a chosen nation, guided by Moses, their spiritual foundation. He taught them God's laws, his statutes, and ways, preparing them for the promised land's embrace. Yet Moses himself would not enter that place, for God had decreed a different fate to embrace. From Mount Nebo's summit, he gazed at the sight, the land of promise, bathed in heavenly light. With unyielding faith, he submitted his soul, his earthly journey reaching its final goal. Moses, the chosen leader, a prophet revered, his legacy of obedience eternally endeared. The burning bush, a symbol of God's call, a testament to Moses, the greatest of all. Through trials and triumphs, his faith never waned, a shepherd turned deliverer, his destiny ordained. So let us remember Moses, the burning bush's flame, a story of faith, courage, and a holy name. For in each of our lives, God's voice may be heard, and like Moses, may we answer with a resolute word, to heed the divine calling, to follow with trust, in the face of challenges, to remain ever just. For within each of us lies a burning bush, a sacred flame, a purpose we must push. Just as Moses listened, humbled and aware, may we too be open to God's voice, to his care. In our modern world, filled with chaos and strife, we may find ourselves lost, searching for life. But remember the lessons from Moses' tale, that God's presence is with us, even when we fail. Through the burning bush, a message resounds. In the ordinary moments, divinity surrounds. May we be attentive, with hearts open wide, to the signs and wonders where God does abide. And like Moses, may we rise to the call, to be instruments of love, standing tall, to lead with compassion, to fight for what's right, to bring liberation and hope, shining bright. The story of Moses and the burning bush, a timeless reminder, a spiritual push, that in the face of adversity, we can find grace, and in God's presence, we discover our place. So let us embrace the lessons it imparts, courage, faith, and compassionate hearts. For within each of us, a burning bush does reside, a divine spark, waiting to be ignited inside. As the poem of Moses and the burning bush concludes, there's more to explore, more to the tale that ensues. For Moses' journey continued, beyond that divine encounter, leading his people, facing challenges that would mount her. Through the wilderness they traveled, a nation in transition, seeking the promised land, a land of fruition. Moses faced trials of faith, rebellion, and doubt, but his unwavering devotion never tapered out. He parted the Red Sea, a miraculous display, leading his people through, guiding their way. He received the law, the commandments divine, a covenant established, a sacred intertwine. In the wilderness of Sinai, the tabernacle was raised, a dwelling place for God, where his glory blazed. Moses communed with the Almighty, seeking his will, interceding for the people, their hopes to fulfill. 40 years they journeyed, through valleys and hills, as Moses led them, guided by God's will. But upon reaching the promised land's border, Moses' fate took a turn as his journey grew shorter. For God decreed that Moses would not enter the land flowing with milk and honey, a venture. Though he yearned to step foot on that sacred ground, his time had come, a new leader to be found. From Mount Nebo, Moses beheld the sight, the land of promise, bathed in golden light. He passed on a mantle of leadership with care to Joshua, his faithful apprentice, his heir. With a heavy heart, Moses bid his people farewell, his earthly story coming to a bittersweet swell. But his legacy endured, his memory held dear, as a prophet, a deliverer, a symbol of reverence clear. So the story of Moses and the burning bush carries on, inspiring hearts with a spiritual rush. A tale of faith, obedience, and God's guiding hand, encouraging us to trust, to follow his command. In the annals of history, Moses stands tall, a beacon of hope, inspiring one and all. May his story continue to resonate and inspire, igniting within us a fervent, divine fire. For within each of us, a burning bush does reside, a call to purpose, to let our light abide, to lead with courage, compassion, and grace, embracing our journey with faith as our base. In the realm of Moses and the burning bush, there's more to uncover, a narrative to flush. For his story transcends the pages of old, reverberating through time, its truths unfold. Moses, a figure chosen by divine decree, a vessel of God's power, a leader to be. He confronted Pharaoh with plagues untold, demanding freedom for his people, bold. Through rivers turned to blood and skies filled with frogs, Egypt trembled under God's prevailing laws. But Pharaoh's heart hardened, he refused to relent, until the final plague, when his resolve was spent. The angel of death passed over each house, but the Hebrews were spared, protected by vows. Moses led them out of Egypt's cruel hold, a liberation tale, a story to be told. With staff in hand, he split the sea in two, a path emerged, a miracle to view. Through walls of water, they walked on dry land, escaping oppression, guided by God's commanding hand. In the desert, hunger struck, thirst prevailed, yet God provided manna, a heavenly trail. Moses interceded, calling out for aid, and water flowed from rocks, a gift conveyed. Upon Mount Sinai, Moses ascended high, to commune with God, to receive the law nigh. Commandments etched on stone, a moral guide, to shape a nation, their faith to abide. Yet amidst their journey, doubts did arise, rebellion simmered, challenges disguised. Moses faced criticism, his authority tested, but he persevered, with God's wisdom invested. 40 years they wandered, seeking their place, but Moses, he faltered, and divine grace forbade him entry into the promised land, a consequence severe, a destiny unplanned. On Mount Nebo, Moses gazed upon the prize, the land flowing with milk and honey before his eyes. He passed the reins to Joshua, his trusted kin, a leader chosen to guide them from within. The legacy of Moses, a beacon so bright, his unwavering faith, his celestial light, reminds us of courage, conviction, and zeal to heed the call of God and his will reveal. So let us honor Moses, his story so grand, a testament to faith in every land. May we learn from his journey, his trials and grace, and in our own lives find purpose and embrace. For within each of us, a burning bush does reside, igniting our souls, urging us to stride, to stand for justice, to alleviate strife, embodying the essence of a purposeful life. In the footsteps of Moses, we tread our own path, navigating challenges, conquering the aftermath. With resilience as our armor, we face every test, trusting in the divine, knowing we are blessed. Like Moses, we may encounter our own Red Sea, obstacles that seem insurmountable, blocking our decree. But if we hold steadfast with unwavering belief, the waters will part, revealing a path of relief. In the desert of life, when hope seems to wane, we find solace in faith, a shelter from the mundane. Just as manna sustained the weary Israelite, we find sustenance in grace in moments of plight. Yet, let us not forget the lessons, the mistakes that Moses made along his sacred undertaking. His anger, his doubts, and moments of despair serve as reminders for us to be aware. For in our own journeys, we may stumble and fall, yet it is through these trials that we stand tall. We learn from our weaknesses, we grow and evolve, embracing humility as problems we resolve. So let us continue the legacy of Moses, strong, courageously advancing where we rightfully belong. With hearts full of compassion and minds open wide, we strive to make a difference to turn the tide. For the story of Moses and the burning bush transcends the bounds of words. It continues to push. It echoes in our souls, where inspiration thrives, a timeless reminder that within us, divinity resides. So as we journey forward, embracing life's unknown, may the spirit of Moses guide us with wisdom sown, and may we, like the burning bush, forever ignite, spreading light, love, and hope with all our might. So let us remember Moses' remarkable quest, and in our own lives strive to be our best.